Hello everybody and welcome back. This is Not a Pro Gardener here, and we're in zone 6B, now 7A. Today we're going to be harvesting as many crops as we can, and the reason why is because we're going to have a frost coming in tonight and we don't want it to damage any of our warm season crop. So we're going to want to get these guys out of here. And another thing that we're kind of late on doing, but we're going to be doing some direct seeding on some things just to kind of get some stuff out there for either as a fall cover crop, or we're going to be getting it out there as winter storage food that can stay in the ground, that can handle the cold, stuff like that. So we're pretty excited about it. This is the first time we've done all this fall planting stuff, and if it doesn't go as planned, then it can just be considered as a cover crop and turned in next year, or tarped and taken care of it that way as well. Now we're going to get into more varieties here in a second. It is 55 degrees outside. It is very cloudy today. It is very windy, blowing in that cold front. We're going to be cold for a few nights, down to 34 for the next couple nights. Frost advisory tonight. And the reason we're doing this is because we want to get this stuff in. Now, the direct seeded crops, usually you want this stuff to be in the ground growing for about a month before the daylight time change comes. But that's why I said we're a little late on that, but that's okay. We're gonna try it and see how it goes. So let's go ahead and see what we're dealing with here. All right, so we're gonna do this quick. We got our summer squash here. We got a lot of these we grew out for seed, and we're just gonna mass harvest all of them that we can, edible or not. We're going to save a lot of these for seed this year. The carrots are fine. They will store in the ground all winter. We did take care of this bed here, and we got down to about 3/4 of an inch with our tiller and took care of that. So we're going to be direct seeding, I think, beets in this bed. Our beets here, they will withstand some frost around 30 to 32 degrees, and then it warms back up. They'll be all right. That zucchini plant there is probably not going to fare so well, but we're going to find out. All these guys here, we got Brussels sprouts, broccoli, and cauliflower. They'll be fine. And over here, we're going to be direct seeding, hopefully spinach and radishes, and depends on how much extra seed I got left over, if it's going to be carrots or more spinach. If I got more spinach, I'd rather just put spinach. So just depends on how much seed I got. So let's go ahead and get to it. Okay, all right everybody, so let's go all the way over here and start with this. So I double seeded these rows because the drop hopper seeder is a little iffy sometimes. It seems to want to work when you got the right consistency of the same size seed, unless you just want to dump a bunch of seed into it. So I mean, it kind of works, So I noticed halfway through the little spindle wasn't spinning, so I just went through and just seeded the whole bed again, just to kind of cover my own bases here. I mean, it's all kind of a gamble to see if she really comes up. You know, I'm planting it kind of late. You know, it's either going to be a cover crop to turn in the winter, you know, to keep something growing here and maybe get some beets out of it. Maybe we got our, I believe it's Boro beet here, the same beets that we direct seeded here with the drop hopper seeder. Just keep checking in on this gigantic beet. I just come out and pick them as I need them, you know, and when it starts to get real cold, I'll have to harvest them, obviously, you know, but that's just is what it is. And then over here, I did 5 to 6 rows of spinach in here. The spinach that I got from Johnny's this year was very inconsistent in size, but I think when you buy larger bulk quantities of the same seed, that's just kind of how it happens. So I did the same thing for spinach here, 5 to 6 rows, because I just wanted to make sure that I was getting it dropped and getting enough put down. Over here I did 3 rows of spinach, and then in between I did 2 rows of radishes, and I'll pop up images of that as well. And those were the Donato. First time I've ever tried these radishes. Planting this stuff pretty late, but we'll see how it happens. Usually you want to get this stuff put in the ground and growing about a month before the daylight change starts to come. So I'm kind of a couple weeks late on getting this stuff in the ground, but I think I'll be able to just manage, and you know, if it makes something out of it, I get some food. If not, then it becomes a cover crop, and at least I got something growing in the soil, because right now I do not, and that's not good for my soil life. So just do the best we can here. That's all we ask for. All right. So we got all the stuff that we had sitting on our little bench in the front moved to the greenhouse. We got all of our herbs that we're going to try to keep going for as long as we can. Then we got this turmeric we're going to be harvesting here soon. The leaves have kind of died back just a little bit. You know, they're not quite there just yet, but they're getting really, really close. So I just moved them in here because I just don't have time to deal with them. And we got a frost tonight, so I'm sure that'll probably knock them back a little bit. But I thought other than that, all in all, we're getting all our ducks in a row. This is how our rosemary bed's doing. I wanted just rosemary to be growing in here. We only had 1 rosemary plant die right here, but the rest of these went and took off. Now, I really wish I wouldn't have planted that oregano in here and just stayed with the thyme, because, you know, I couldn't get that oregano to stay alive for the market. So in the future, I was thinking about doing live plants, and then, you know, I could snip off what they want there. So if you're looking to do this in the future, just remember oregano is extremely hard to keep alive for the market for the next day. You know, I tried all kinds of different things and nothing would work. And, you know, thyme, rosemary, and sage, that stuff rocked. You know, a lot of people wanted that, and that worked out pretty good. So that's one thing I wish I wouldn't have done, was the oregano. Just wish I would have stayed with the thyme and left it at that. This is what became of these bush beans up here. The wax beans, I got a harvest off of almost all these varieties. The wax beans did pretty good. They got a lot of pest damage, but that's because I didn't spray them with anything. And these, I feel like these are called Royal Burgundy. I forget the name of these exactly, but they're purple. They cook to green. I got a good harvest off of those. And then we had some, I think, compass bush beans, and then a couple other varieties. They all did pretty darn well, actually. I got about 3 harvests off of them, and I'm kind of just using them as a cover crop now, you know, to keep something growing in the soil. Whenever the cold kills them, it kills them, you know. That's just how it is. And I'm getting ready to mass harvest all the zucchini off of there before this frost tonight. Try to save some of them for seed, I'm hoping. We'll see how it goes. All right, so as you can see, we got some new stuff in the ground. Hopefully we got enough time before that daylight change to at least get them established. I mean, I'm hoping, but we'll see. You gotta cross your fingers for that one. Another time, maybe I'll take you over to the other, and we might go to Future Me and another time to show you the onions and stuff on the hill over there, how they're doing. You know, this might be part of another video. So this is Not a Pro Gardener here. Thanks for watching. Yeah, I'll see you out here in the garden next time. Have a great day. All right, everybody, it's the next morning. And man, it is frosty. As you see, I got my garlic beds and my onion beds in the middle. Yeah, there's some weeds popping through. I kind of weed whenever I get a chance, you know. There's a lot of wild garlic popping through as well. And just to kind of show you, these are some of my bigger onions that are poking through. They're not doing so bad. When the sun heats up, they'll be all right as rain. Onions don't do too bad in frosts. Oh, let me get they don't do too bad in frosts. In my experience, I've had them take a cold down to like, I think it was 28 degrees one night. But you know, the sun warmed it up the next day. You know, the winter's going to be a challenge, but stay tuned. I got some things I'm going to try to see if I can keep these guys growing through the winter. So we're going to go ahead and get our chores done in the morning, and